Now, I want to talk to you guys about how to overcome condemnation as a man. Now, and what does that mean, especially in the Bible? It talks about a guilty verdict where we can tend to guilt trip ourselves for maybe there's decisions we made where people didn't approve of it. We feel like failures because we made tough decisions and we can't get over that mindset. I'm not going to lie. I struggled with this for probably a few months. It was a tough decision I had to make and move on from. But I knew at that point it was the right decision for me in my life. And it wasn't easy. But what I've learned over these last, I would say 3 weeks, is to have a moving forward mentality and to make sure you have clarity with what you're doing. Is that always going to be easy? No, because there's going to be negative thoughts that are going to come across your mind. There's going to be things in your past that's going to try to haunt you, and you got to deal with those mindsets. I want to use this as our theme tonight. You've probably heard the saying, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, according to Proverbs 23:7. So I want to use that as our foundation tonight. What we think matters, and that gets manifested by our actions, by our words, and by our decision making. And if we're not careful with the thoughts coming into our minds, it's going to destroy us. So, how do you deal with a situation where you've made decisions that are good for you, but you feel guilty about the choice because it affected somebody else? Well, the first thing is you got to forgive yourself. You got to make sure that you understand, okay, I had the right intentions. I didn't mean any ill will towards that person or towards the situation. I just wanted to make sure I made the best decision for my family, myself, and my relationship with God. Is that easy? No, it's not. Also, you should forgive the person because at the end of the day, if they got hurt from that situation and you forgive them, then you are saying to yourself, I'm not holding anything against you because I can't let that take control of my life. Because if this situation stays around you throughout the day, it's going to affect your energy. It's going to live rent free in your head. It's going to also bother your production. So you have to be willing to not only forgive others, but also forgive yourself. You're going to be human. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to mess up. You're going to say something where you're like, man, I meant to say it that way when you think about it down the road. But at the same time, the intent wasn't bad. You didn't mean it for evil. You were trying to make a point. And unfortunately, some people take it the wrong way. But it doesn't mean you are incorrect. You were just trying to do the right thing in that moment. The next thing that is going to help you overcome condemnation is finding quiet times for yourself through meditating, through prayer. What I like to do first thing in the morning is pray to God. Have a quick, not a quick, but a 15, 20-minute conversation, sometimes 30 minutes, just to get my day started. Start with gratitude, start with praise, start with praying for folks, forgiving, and thinking about things that I'm want to get done and just making sure my mind is right for the day and making sure it's quiet, not turning on the news because there's a lot of distractions out there. You have social media. Obviously, the news right now with politics, you want to be careful how much you consume because that can distract you. You might look at an opinion on social media and it just throws your emotions off the rest of the day. So you want to find quiet times because it's loud and distracting. You want to quiet things. And the reason why this is so important because it gives you an opportunity to reflect, look at the things you're dealing with appropriately, and make sure you're processing things. Because if you're going through a season right now where you've been beating yourself up because of a decision you made, you've been thinking to yourself, man, I'm a bad friend, I'm a bad husband, I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to do. Take a step back and reflect and look at the process. Look how much you're growing. Be grateful for where you are. That's why you want to find a quiet place so you can look at the momentum you're gaining or maybe the momentum you're not gaining and start fresh. The last thing that's going to help you with overcoming condemnation is in monitoring your thoughts. Is this easy? Absolutely not. It's definitely a difficult thing, especially for me. I work in sales, and let's just say I go through a day where I haven't sold a product on the first 10 calls, and I got 4 or 5 rude customers back to back to back to back. That is hard to deal with. They cuss you out, they call you names that aren't true, they attack your character, they call you a scam. That can be offensive. And sometimes I lash out, I respond. And what happens those moments is I start getting this negative attitude. And on the next call, my attitude's off. So I like to take a 5 minute, 10-minute mental break just to reset. So every hour, hour and a half, I try to take a quick break just to reset my mind. Are there days where I don't get a sale? Yeah, it happens. But I try to also reflect on the good things that happen. Another thing that will help you when you're monitoring your thoughts, let's just say you get off work and you got some negativity going on, is go to the next activity right away. Whether it's going to the gym, reading a book, looking up a quote that will get your mind right. So you can just have a good evening. And if you have a wave of negative emotions or a situation that you still feel bad about, just move forward. Dissect what happened. Look at it from a perspective, okay, this is my intent. I know what I meant, and that's okay. Live with your decisions. Be okay with just being strong, being a man who is confident. Tell yourself you're capable. Tell yourself that you're unstoppable. Like, speak positive affirmations over yourself, whether that's through the Bible, through quotes, through things that you find inspirational. Say those things, especially when the negative things come. Look, we're human beings. We can't just stop negative thoughts. That's impossible. But we can monitor them and get mentally better each day. And I also like what it says in Proverbs where it talks about your thinking. Also, check out Philippians 4:8 where it talks about think on things that are good, whatever is praiseworthy, etc., etc. So if you're struggling with your thinking, if you're noticing there's some guilty feelings because of a tough decision you had to make, use these things to help you overcome condemnation. I promise you'll get better. Trust the process and understand that you're human at the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you've dealt with condemnation in the past. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.